Okay, hi, welcome to another review. It's been a little while. I got something quite unexpected from Amazon today. Well, it was completely unexpected, I just wasn't sure when it was going to come. So we have the deluxe gosei morpher here from Power Rangers Megaforce. So finally, I've been waiting ever since I saw the reviews of this back in like January. I've waited to get this morpher for a long time, along with the gosei Great Megazord, which should be coming at any point, and I'm going to do a comparison review between this and the UK counterpart. So yeah, taking a look at the packaging here, it's the first time that you have a morpher with open packaging. So just be careful if you do pick this up in like the shops, then there might be some damages on it because it's most prone to damaging. Do you have a kind of an idea from Sentai where you have like the Ranger holding it, along with the holding the card, just from the idea of gosei. This will fall out, so I'm just going to take it off. So you can see here, very reminiscent to that of the Mystic Force packaging, which is just here actually. You would have the gosei morpher in like this, and it would have the priming feature, which I'll show off in a sec. It shows you 10 power cards with this, so you get the instructions here, and the cards will be put here, along with the instructions and this clip. You have a demo card with it as well, but it doesn't do anything. That's that. Shows the feature on the side, the card scanner app, and the back shows you like the Red Ranger holding it. The card shows it has over 180 sounds, which I'll demonstrate some of them when it comes to the next video, which I'm not sure when I'm going to be doing. But anyway, coming off of the gosei morpher itself, I'll do a better comparison in a minute, but it does take it is pretty much exactly the same way as it functions with the Tensoda from gosei. In that we have a head here, and it reads cards. Now, it's really just standard by itself, really too much to it. It's just all like flat coloured, nothing really sparkling or anything, or chrome. You have a light here, where the gosei logo is, or the Megaforce logo, with speakers here. On the back, you have a bell clip here. You have an attachment here for the clip, which you just attach on, which can be a little bit difficult, and you can just hang it on your belt. Don't know why they included that feature, but nonetheless, this is pretty much like the same clip we've got on in more recent years with like the guns and such. And you have these little pieces here, which in the Japanese version you could easily just hold it by itself, but the way it is now, you can't do it. So I mean, it is possible. It's just not very comfortable. But for me, I prefer it that way, so that you can actually hold it like this. Got a couple of details on the back as well. Now, I would like to point out a couple of things. One of them is that this actually uses the AAA batteries instead of the LR44 button batteries that we've been using in more recent years for Power Ranger morphers. And for some reason, this morpher itself doesn't have an on and off switch. You have the priming mode on and the TCG mode, which I'll demonstrate each of them. So when you take out the tab for the priming feature, you're only going to get one sound in it. That's the sound you get when you pull it down. It's all black inside. You can grip it all the way properly. Whether you have a card in there or not, when you close it, that's all you're going to get. So I'm on the on mode now. So in this mode, it would read the cards. And speaking of which, in this set you get 10 cards, which I'll demonstrate in a sec, comparing it with the Japanese version. So you have 5 cards. You have the change card for the Red Megaforce Ranger. It says Red Megaforce Ranger on here, but this is summoning his Dragon Sword. The Gosei Dragon Mecha Sword. That's Mechazord, not Megazord. Call him the Gosei Dragon. The Gosei Great Megazord card. Again, this says Red Megaforce Ranger, but this is an attack card. And Gosei Joe is known as Twist Tornado, but I think this one would just be some, Sky Tornado, if they ever did use it. And then you have Ranger cards from the past, just with the Disney seasons aside of one. So you have the Red Mystic Force Ranger, the Red SPD Ranger, the Red Jungle Fury Ranger, the red Ninja Storm Ranger, and lastly the red Wild Force Ranger. In Japan, these cards all came with the vinyl figures, which were released during Gokaiger, and you can use them inside the Tensoda. But they decided to include them in this set. Each of the cards have their own numbers. The change card here is P018. This one's 23. This is 27. This is 29. This is 31. This is 68. 69. 73. 71. And 70. So to demonstrate each of their sounds. So we'll start off with the change cards. You can have a guess of what it's going to say. Yeah, that's weird. To take the cards out, it's the same way as the Japanese version, where you can push down on this tab if you don't want to damage it, and just release it. I think that will do something as weapon. All the change cards have the exact same sound, except for that of Robo Knight, or Gosei Knight as he was known in Goseiger, where it will just say Megaforce Robo Knight. So all the weapons will say that. All the headers for Zords that are now going to be known as, and as well as all these Mech Zords, they're all going to do the exact same sound. All the Megazord cards are going to be the same, so Gosei Grey, Wonder Gosei Grey, Gosei Ground, whatever. I'm just going by the Japanese name just because I'm more familiar with it, because I haven't seen that much Megaforce, because it hasn't aired here in the UK yet. Next we'll do the attack card. If I'm going to make a guess, all the attack cards as well as all the dynamic cards are going to be the exact same thing. Next we'll do the Past Rangers. So you can have an idea of what all the other cards are going to say when I put them in. They'll all have the exact same sound afterwards. Just for information, you've got to put the cards in this way where the code actually scans on this little bit here, because there's no code there, so just do it backwards for instance. Got an error sound. All the backs are going to be the same, there's no difference. So that's the sound of every single one of the cards that comes in this set. Every single toy in Megaforce, just from the views that I've seen, are going to come with at least one kind of card. So a lot of them are going to be repeats. There's going to be the figurines are going to come with their change cards, exception of red, which is just going to say Megaforce Red. And yeah. So finally, before I go on to the differences between this and the Tensoda, I just want to show you the final feature, which is the TCG feature. This is mainly for the action card game. and it just doesn't really do a whole lot just by itself. You need to have a card in there, otherwise it's not going to do anything. It'll just demonstrate. It doesn't do anything. So you can put any card in. It doesn't matter what it does. It doesn't scan any particular cards, just to demonstrate. Yeah, so it says power level, whatever it is, and sometimes it will say special effect. So all it does, it doesn't matter what card you put in, you can put any one in, it will just do random sound. And that's basically it for this. There's nothing else to go over. So now the difference between this and the Japanese version. Let's see. So you can tell that the size is different. This one's definitely a fair amount thicker, whereas this one's a lot more thinner, just by a side shot. That's mainly because of the fact that this is still fat, but this extra bit here, which is the part you're meant to hold, is the reason why it's so much fatter. It still takes AAA batteries, such as this one. This one does have the on and off feature though. Oh, different batteries in. Hold on just a sec. Probably should have done this beforehand. I am very stupid. And when you turn it on, actually, you can see that the light and the sound are going to be in the same place. But when you open them up, they're different. You get that kind of bleeping sound when you get the black on the inside, whereas in the Japanese one, it says gotcha, the eyes change to red, and you have red here. You have the same kind of tab thing here where you push it down and it releases the card, except this one's red, while the UK version's black. Nothing where you close it, but whereas this one, no matter whether there's a card in there or not, it still makes that bleeping sound. They're missing the white outline here on the top of the eyebrows. The grey part on the outer bit here was changed to black. Since they don't change to red now, they added like these kind of swirly patterns. The fact is, they also did something that I like. They can actually grip it all the way through with this bit, whereas on the Japanese one you couldn't do it because it closed it off. This bit actually properly locked, whereas in the American version or the UK version, it doesn't really have a proper lock. The back swords are different as well. You've got a thinner area here, which means we are going to get some form of the 10th sword, but it's going to be a lot more different. It's going to be remolded. Plus, this bit was added along with the clip. Let's see, I think the physical will appear to be the same physically otherwise. The gold is lighter on the UK version compared to the Japanese one. And this one has a bit more kind of a sparkly pattern to it, whereas this one's just flat out gold. And also, the biggest thing is that the sound effects are different. Aside, as far as I can remember, 3, all the sound effects are completely American made or UK made. None of the sound effects, aside the 3 that I mentioned, which was the humming sound, which is taken from the Leon Cellular, which is going to be the Robomorpher, the bleeping sound for the error, and the sound that you have after the pass ranger cards in there. All of those are taken from the Tensor, but otherwise it's completely American made with the sounds. They also added these extra bars on the side, so I suppose it keeps the cards more secure. They also changed this bit to gold on the underside, because in the Japanese one it has the silver. Thank you. Since they changed the way that this works, you can't push down this little red bit anymore. Otherwise, it's more or less the same. Nothing much else. Obviously, this is a lot more hollow, so it's a lot more lightweight. You also have a screw hole on the back, which is the one I just showed you has a push button and a slide motion. Now coming on to the cards, these have a fair amount of changes done as well. I'll just show the one with the change cards, but although you've seen it like 1,000 times already. The cards for the UK one actually made it a little bit bigger. These ones are more the size of the Yu-Gi-Oh cards, whereas these ones kind of more following the Pokemon card size, but these are still smaller. They actually zoomed out the picture a little bit on this one, you can just see. This one shows the face, but this one shows the top part. It also changes to the actual card game thing, and the codes are different. And the backs are different as well. This one you can actually put in backwards and it'll make a sound effect, whereas in this one you can't. But the interesting thing is that the Japanese gosei cards can actually work in the gosei morpher. I already mentioned that in my Tensor review, but I can demonstrate it with this one. I'll do a proper video at some point to show off all the cards that I have, but it doesn't properly work. So if you just line it up with this barcode goes to this bit, you can get a sound from it. Yeah, Lightspeed Rescue Yellow. And it's the same with all the cards. They've had their change ideas. They also changed the way the actual sounds work. Like, they're different sounds, but they changed the way they actually work. With the Japanese one, the change cards, you can have the change sound for Sky, Kalandix, and Sea Ick. Whereas this one is just Go Megaforce every time. Something in the weapons, they could say the different names in the Japanese one. They'd say the different names of each of the Zords. It would say the different Megazord names, and it would have the different attack sounds, as I explained before. And the victory charge was different as well. You could have different charges. You could have the Wonder Charge, the Ultimate Charge, the Dual Charge, whatever. And yeah, whereas in this one you get the reading of all the past Ranger sounds, because Megaforce is celebrating the 20th anniversary of Power Rangers. Whereas Gosei was only the 34th Sentai, and the 35th one was afterwards. So, after all that chatting, final thoughts on this? An absolute must-have morpher for any Power Rangers fan. It's a very, very intricate design. I really like the fact that you can actually read all the past Ranger cards in it. If you have the Gosei cards, you can actually mix and match and find out which cards say what. And I just absolutely love it. It's really good. You don't have to be a completely big Power Ranger fan in order to like this, because it's still good to actually have. Just for that you actually have this, and the fact that we actually got more cards in this version than we did with the Japanese version, because the Japanese one only came with these 5 cards, which is the Transformation card, the Dragon Sword, the Gosei Dragon, the Gosei Great, and the Twist Tornado. Whereas in this one we get the Past Ranger cards as well, which are all part of the action card game. Which I'm not going to have to collect all of them, but I'm just going to get the ones that actually have the sounds for cards that I don't have with me. You can get this now. I bought this from Amazon, as I mentioned earlier. I got this in the Amazon package, so I would really recommend getting this. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll just show you the transformation that I do in Megaforce. If I can do it properly. Okay, so it's morphing time. Go Megaforce.